Hello students, welcome to Intuition Education. Today I'm gonna talk about a very typical problem in physics which belongs to the kinematic part, and the problem is this. Two trains, each having a speed of 30 km per hour, are headed at each other on the same straight track. A bird that can fly at 60 km per hour flies off from one train when they are 60 km apart and heads directly for the other train. On reaching the other train, it flies directly back to the first, and so forth. So the first question is, how many trips can the bird make from one train to the other before they crash? And the second question is, what is the total distance the bird travels? So to solve this question, we will use the relative velocity method. As these two trains are moving in opposite directions with the same velocity, that is given as 30 and 30, and the bird can fly with speed 60 kilometer per hour. So the relative velocity of the trains, the relative velocity of the trains, the relative velocity of the trains is nothing but the addition of these two velocities, which will give us 60 kilometer per hour. So this is the relative velocity of the two trains. Now, as the initial distance given was 60 kilometer, so the total time must be taken the distance 60 kilometer divided by the relative velocities of these two trains. So this will give us 1 hour. This is the total time must be taken. Now let us talk about the bird's motion. As the bird can move with a velocity 60 km per hour and one train moves with 30 km per hour. So the relative velocity of the bird, so the relative velocity of the bird is 60 plus 30, which will give us 90 km per hour. So from this we will have the time for the first trip. Time for the first trip is the distance initially was 60 km and the relative velocity of the bird is 90 km per hour. So this will give us 2/3 hours. For the second trip, the bird will also move with a relative velocity 90 km per hour, but the distance will be reduced. The initial distance was 60. Now the distance will be reduced by this, and this will give us 20 km. So this is the distance the bird have to travel in the second trip. So the time taken for the second trip is the distance divided by the velocity, which is actually the relative velocity. So we can write it as 2 by 3 square is the hour. So you can also calculate the other times T3, T4 and so on, and we will have the Tn in the form of 2 by 3 to the power n hour. Now we already have that the total time must be 1 hour. So by adding these times, we must have it to be equals to 1. So let us take out that 2/3 part out, and we will have 1 plus 1 by 3 and so on with to the power n minus 1 equals to 1. Now this series is a GP series. So we will sum up this series as 2/3 into 1 minus 1 by 3 whole to the power n, as there are n terms in the series. So this is the standard summation form of GP series, which must be equals to 1. Now this part will also contribute a 2/3. That is why this 2/3 and this 2/3 will be cancelled. So we are left with this part. So from where we can cancel this 1 and this 1. So we are left with 1 by 3 whole to the power n equals to 0. That will give us n equals to infinity. That is why the bird will make infinite trips between the two trains before they crash. So now the first answer is here, and the second answer is very simple. The bird has a velocity 60 km per hour, and the total time must be taken 1 hour. So the total distance is 60 km. That is our second answer. So this is the problem for today, and we will back with a new problem on the next video. Please stay with us and stay tuned on our channel Intuition Education. Have a good day. Take care.